let's go to the class for today. Okay, today we're going to work as we
Okay.
have already finished with the uh, future. Okay, the first thing we have are the compound words. Okay, let me check if we studied compound words. Let me check. Yes, we had compound words ready. So we proceed to the next. That is a listening on a travel blog to use the compound nouns, okay? It is number 34. Let me get it. Give me a second. 34. Let me find it.
Sorry, Miss, what page?
Give me a second. I'll tell you in a minute because I'm looking for 34 as this course book. The audios, they don't have the numbers. So I have to go testing. This is page 67.
67. Thank you, Miss.
Okay, let me check if I got the right audio.
Okay.
Oh, yes, I got it. Lucky me. Okay, so listen first. Remember, first listening is always to check vocabulary or to check the answers. Okay, and second listening is for you to write the answers or verify if the answers you got were right. Okay, so let's listen twice. Okay, Uluru is the original native name, and Ayers Rock is the name that the colonizers gave to that. Okay?
Miss, I'm
Yes?
sorry. I can listen the audio. Maybe it's for I am attending class in my cell phone. I don't know.
Maybe. What about the others? Could you listen good? Maybe it's the volume. Let me
I
write.
can listen the audio to Miss.
Okay, so maybe it is because the volume is too low. Let me put up the volume, turn it up. Okay, nice. Let me put this down because otherwise I'll become deaf. Okay, let's check.
Unit 7. Vocabulary. Exercise 2.
Next week, I'm going to Australia. I'm arriving in the north, so first I'm going to stay overnight in Darwin. My guidebook says it's an interesting city, so I think country, where I'll spend the night at a campsite. The next day, I'm hoping to get a lift down the main road. I'm taking all my things in a backpack so that I don't have to carry a heavy suitcase around. About 200 kilometres south of Alice, I'll reach a crossroads where there's a signpost that says Uluru 247 kilometres. Uluru is also known as Ayers Rock, one of the most amazing sights in the world.
Okay, now could you listen clearly?
Yes, but
Okay.
for one moment,
Stop
Yes,
the
it
listen.
audio.
vanished.
Yeah.
It vanished because they asked me to set the picture of the class. So I have to,
Okay.
otherwise they get mad at me. Okay, so yes, the previous class I didn't upload the photo because there were some complicated issues to explain. They are in unit 12 from the course book. So I need to, I concentrate on what I was doing and I forgot the picture. So now they talk hard at me and say, hey, miss, you forgot the picture. You shouldn't forget the picture, you know, and say, okay.
Unit 7. Vocabulary. Exercise 2.
Next week, I'm going to Australia. I'm arriving in the north, so first I'm going to stay overnight in Darwin. My guidebook says it's an interesting city, so I think I'll do a bit of sightseeing there. Then I'm getting the train to Alice Springs, right in the middle of the country, where I'll spend the night at a campsite. The next day, I'm hoping to get a lift down the main road. I'm taking all my things in a backpack so that I don't have to carry a heavy suitcase around. About 200 kilometers south of Alice, I'll reach a crossroads where there's a signpost that says Uluru 247 kilometers. Uluru is also known as Ayers Rock, one of the most amazing sights in the world.
Okay, did you get the answers?
Mm,
Maria, Eduardo,
the-
Carlos, Guido, did you get the answers?
to the 6 and in front, I lost.
I lost.
You lost it, okay. One more time, but remember, you have to get it in 2 times because in the Cambridge test, you're going to have only 2 times.
Okay.
And this is continual training. Next.
Unit 7. Vocabulary. Exercise 2.
Next week, I'm going to Australia. I'm arriving in the north, so first I'm going to stay overnight in Darwin. My guidebook says it's an interesting city, so I think I'll do a bit of sightseeing there. Then I'm getting the train to Alice Springs, right in the middle of the country, where I'll spend the night at a campsite. The next day, I'm hoping to get a lift down the main road. I'm taking all my things in a backpack so that I don't have to carry a heavy suitcase around. About 200 kilometers south of Alice, I'll reach a crossroads where there's a signpost that says Uluru 247 kilometers. Uluru is also known as Ayers Rock, one of the most amazing sights in the world.
Now it is okay?
It's okay.
So, Guido, can you give me the first one?
Yeah.
Number 1, what did she say? What did he said? Sorry. They said overnight and then it is an interesting city.
My boat.
My guidebook.
Guide book. The book you consult when you are traveling and want to know about the places to visit, the guidebook. Okay, Guido, it's an interesting city, so I think I'll do a bit of
Side.
sight, only sight. Remember, these are compound words. Sight.
It's sidewalk. No.
Sightseeing.
Sightseeing.
Yes.
Sightseeing.
Sightseeing.
Yes, yes. Are new words for me. I don't know how to write.
Sightseeing. Sightseeing, go to a place, to a new place, and
Oh,
walk or
side,
ride.
no side.
Sight. Sight means
I listen side, the
vista.
sitio, side.
No. And
No,
it doesn't
de
have
mirar
any.
de mirar el sitio,
Mhm,
de mirar el
yes.
lugar.
Sightseeing. It's like mirar y mirar. Because sight means vista. Okay, a smell is olfato, taste is gusto. Okay, sight is vista. It's like ver con la vista, ver con los ojos. It's a compound word and it means go to a place and visit or see everything around. When you go to a museum and you walk along the halls in the museum, you are sightseeing. When you go to a new city and you are on a bus, on a tour bus, visiting the important places in that city or the most interesting places in that city, you are sightseeing. Okay.
Sightseeing. Miss, please, you spell see, please.
Sightsee, S-I-G-H-T-S-E-E, sightsee. Okay, that's the verb. Sightseeing is the noun. It's not a gerund, it's a noun. And in Spanish, you cannot have a translation as a single word, but as a concept. Okay, ir a un lugar y ver o visitar los diferentes sitios importantes o interesantes. Okay, you can only sightseeing when you visit another country, when you visit a different city, when you visit a new place. You cannot go sightseeing in your house, or you cannot go sightseeing in your block. But for example, I live in Quito. Quito is a large city. I haven't gone to everywhere, every interesting place in Quito. So when I haven't gone to the Panecillo. So when I'll probably go soon, but at the moment I go to the Panecillo, I'm going sightseeing the area. I'm going to see the statue. I go up to the statue to see through the windows. I'll walk around to see the different things that are around the Panecillo, etc. Okay. Then I'm getting the train to Alice Springs, right in the middle of the country, where I'll spend the night at a
Camp,
Campsite.
campsite. The place where you can camp. Okay, remember they are compound words. Camp is a word, okay? It's a verb, camp, camping, or a noun. And site is the area. The campsite is the area where you can go camping, or you can stay in your tent, or in your mobile house. Okay? The next day, I'm hoping to get a lift down the main road. I'm taking all my things in a
backpack.
Yes. In a backpack, so that I don't have to carry a heavy
Suitcase.
Suitcase around. About 200 kilometers south of Alice Springs, I reach a Remember, if they are compound words, there are two words together.
A heavy suitcase around. About 200 kilometers south of Alice, I'll reach a crossroads.
I'll reach a
crossroads.
Crossroads. The place where two roads or two streets or two avenues cross. A crossroad. Where there is a
Where there's a signpost that
there's a What is
Sides.
there? Listen.
Round. About 200 kilometers south of Alice, I'll reach a crossroads where there's a signpost.
Where there is a
Signpost.
signpost. Okay? One of those big signs where it says, I don't know, Quito 20 kilometers, Otavalo 100 kilometers. Okay? End of road, the finished part of the road, 2 kilometers. Guayaquil, 600 kilometers. Those are the signposts. Okay? Post, the bar of metal, and sign, the square with the information. Okay? Signposts. Let me get you some information about compound words. Let me see if I have it here or I have to find it out. Okay, give me a second. Click here. Okay, compound words, yes. Okay, compound words when. Let me share it. Compound word is when you combine two words to make one with a meaning. Okay. Usually we can put together two nouns like signpost. Signed, the big information chart, and post, the bar of metal where it is set. We can also have compound words with verbs and nouns. Camp, to camp is a verb that means to stay in an area, usually natural area, with your tent and your equipment, and site is a synonym for place. So campsite, a place where you can camp. Okay, so we have different kinds of compound words. We have the open one, everything, schoolhouse, grasshopper, sunflower, basketball, and anybody. Every means all, and thing means object. So everything is all the objects. Okay? School is an institution. House is a place. Schoolhouse, the building where a school is. Grasshopper. Grass, you know what grass is? Those short green plants we have in gardens. Hop is jump. Okay, but not jump high, but jump a little. Okay, so grasshopper is an insect that hops in the grass. And the translation is saltamontes. Okay. Sunflower, sun is the sun, the star that is in the middle of the solar system. And flower is when a plant blooms. Sunflower, a flower that looks similar to the sun, the girasol. Basketball, basket is an object, ball is that round spherical thing we use. So basketball is when you throw a ball to a basket, baloncesto. And anybody using negative sentences, any means no. Body means person. Anybody, no person. Okay? These are the open ones that are combined and they are not separated. Then we have separated compound words known as closed compound words. For example, hot dog. Hot, the temperature, dog, the animal. But it's not an animal that is hot. It's a kind of food, hot dog. Grand jury. In this case, grand doesn't have anything to do with size, but with importance. Something grand is the most important thing. Jury is the group of people that decide in a court. So grand jury, a group of people who are very, very, very important in a court because they decide if a person is guilty or not. Post office. Post is to deliver something in a safe way. Office is an area where some transactions or some job is done. Post office, the place where you live and drop things which are important to be sent. Peanut butter. Peanut, a nut, butter, a confection. Peanut butter, a confection made with peanut. Ice cold, cream, a dairy product. Ice cream, helado. So it means a dairy product that is served very cold. High school. In this case, school is not the area, but the institution. High, the top, the final part of teenagers' education, high school. It's not a school that is high on a mountain or high on a third, fourth floor. In this case, it's a concept. And then we have the hyphenated. The hyphenated is a combination of words separated by a hyphen. A hyphen is in Spanish un guión. For example, up to date, up to date. It is not arriba de la fecha, but actualizado. One half, un medio o la mitad. Twofold, con dos páginas. Check in, when you get to a hotel or you get to an event and you go with your registration voucher or your ID to be registered. So check-in is register. 72 numbers, 70 plus 2 more units, and high school, it shouldn't be there. That's a mistake. Okay, so notice compound words are two words that can be two nouns, dos sustantivos, or a noun and a verb that you combine to get a concept. Okay, it becomes a full concept instead of two different things. They might be related or not. Post office is related as grand jury, but hot dog is not an animal that is hot, but a kind of food that has that name, perro caliente. In Argentina, I think it is panchos. Okay, what does panchos have to
Panchos.
do? Yes, in Argentina, they call perro calientes panchos. Okay, why? I have no
Pochoclos,
idea.
popcorn.
Those are the corn hot dogs. Okay, perro caliente de maíz, que actually I don't know what does it have with that. What corn has to do with a hot dog, but that's the way. Okay, so did you get the concept of the compound words? What's the meaning of those words? That I combine two nouns or a noun and a verb to make a concept, to describe a concept. They are useful because you can say, I stayed in a campsite and people understand, instead of I stayed in an area, in a defined area at the park where people can put their tents and sleep. So campsite shortens concepts, okay? They are very, very common, even in Spanish, okay? So, notice, I love to go sightseeing in New York, okay? I like to I usually stayed in campsites on my journeys, okay? So let's work with these words, which are the ones we have here. Guidebook, overnight. Over is not on, but during the night, stay overnight. You got sightseeing, you got campsite, backpack, what you put, the bag you put on your back, suitcase, a box where you put your clothes, the maleta, crossroads, the place where two roads, two avenues, two fast ways cross, and signpost, that information board that is on a post that indicates you the distance to another city or to another place, if you have to turn left or right to go to a place, okay? the name of, if you are on a highway or on a freeway, okay, the how long, no, how far each city is, which are the nearest cities or location, the farthest city or locations, okay? So Guido, can you give me an example using one of these words, please? Any of them, except overnight. Guidebook, sightseeing, campsite, backpack, suitcase, crossroad, and signpost. Same Carlos, the same Maria. Think about a sentence using one of those compound words.
What? Excuse me. What had to do?
You have to make a sentence using one compound word. Okay, only one. For example,
I got boot.
any of them.
I got boot for go to Paris.
Okay, remember, prepositions, verb ing, for going to Paris.
For going. Okay.
Okay, I need a guidebook for going to Paris. Why? Because the guidebook gives you indications about where to go, how to go, which are the interesting places, etc. So we have used guidebook. Carlos, can you give me an example of a sentence with one of those compound words, please?
Kansai.
Any. Choose a word and give me an example. It can be sightseeing, campsite, backpack, suitcase, crossroad, signpost.
Okay. The last year I traveled to the north of Ecuador, and I lost my backpack and another place.
When, not the year when or the time when, just when. When I traveled to Quito, to the north of Quito, I lost my backpack, okay? Instead of the last year I traveled, no. When I traveled to Quito, to the north of Quito, I lost my backpack, okay? Nice. Maria, can you give me an example, please? Hmm?
Is correct?
No, I couldn't listen.
Oh, sorry. The guidebook is essential
No, no
on
guidebook, no
trips.
guidebook. Guidebook is crossed.
Oh, overnight I will be eating crabs.
No, remember, overnight is not a verb. It's a noun. Notice, I'm going to stay overnight in Darwin.
Mm,
Okay? Okay?
yes. I don't know.
With overnight, for example, people usually stay overnight at hotels. Okay? Or people, when you travel, you stay overnight in a hotel. Okay? Or at a friend's house. I have a friend in Baños. She told me to stay overnight at her house when I go to Baños or there. Okay? Remember, they are not verbs, they are nouns. Eduardo, we're making examples with the compound nouns. Can you give me an example with the ones that are not crossed? Give me an example, please. It's cold here.
Okay, can you listen me? Can you listen to me?
Yes,
please?
yes, Eduardo, now I
Yeah,
can
okay.
listen.
Yeah, an example. Maybe let me see. Any compound word, right?
Any of them, except the ones which are crossed.
Okay. No, 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 no. I don't know. Overdose? Yes? No?
No, 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 any of this here. Or if you want to
Oh.
use overdose, you can use it. When a person takes more medication than the doctor says. Okay, if you want to make it your example with overdose, no problem.
An example.
Yeah, any.
Yeah. My grandmother has an overdose of let me try again, please. Okay, my grandmother has an overdose of Tiladil, and because they forgot the recipe and took it too many.
Because it took too much, because it's medicine.
Too much.
Or medication.
Too much of it.
Okay, an overdose is when you take more medicine than advised. Okay? Wait, give me a second. They know that I shouldn't take any message when I'm teaching, when I'm giving class. It bothers me. Okay, but they keep on sending me messages, but they know I'm working and they want me to answer URG urgently. But they know I'm teaching. When I'm teaching, I do not answer messages. Okay, so for example, let me get to the whiteboard. Let me delete this. It was a previous class. Okay. So for example, signpost, information or instructions in roads, freeways, or streets. Okay? I mean, this big stuff.
Señales, ¿no?
Yes, but don't use Spanish. Try to get the concept in English. Okay, this that is on the side of roads, freeways, or streets to give you information or instructions. Okay, in the case of information, maybe
Stop. Oh.
Guayaquil, 650 kilometers. In that case, it is information.
This is with data, no with just the draws, like the.
No, with information. Okay,
Okay.
so it's something like this. Okay, when we talk about information, it's something like Guayaquil, 600 kilometers. With instructions, we can say, give me a second. Guayaquil, next right. So you know that if you're going to Guayaquil, in the next crossway, you have to turn right. Okay? So,
Mhm.
where are they? Roads, freeways, or streets? Do you know the difference between a road, a freeway, and a street? You know the difference? What's the difference among roads, freeways, and streets? Do you know the difference? Yes or no? Yes or no? Guido, Carlos, Maria, Eduardo?
Mm.
Freeways is autopista.
Freeway
Mhm.
is a street more bigger.
Okay. Let me get down here.
Very lanes.
More than 2 lanes? No. No traffic lights? And highways. Okay, there is a mistake between freeway and highway. In most dictionaries, they say freeway and highways are autopistas, but it is not so. Okay, a highway is when you have the freeway and suddenly something turns, okay, and you go to a higher level from the highway. I don't know how you call it here in Venezuela. We call them distribuidores. Okay, that you go on the freeway and then you go to a higher level to go somewhere else. Okay, I don't know if it has a particular name here in Ecuador. In Venezuela, we
Usually
call them
for connect a city with other city. Yes.
a freeway with a street, a city, another freeway. If you have seen movies, sometimes in movies, you see some roads like this, like a flower. Okay. So if you're going somewhere, you take here and you return, or if you take it, you go somewhere else. Okay. Those are called in English highways. Okay, but people mistranslate it as autopistas. No, the autopista is only the freeway. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Because I deleted. Okay, Guayaquil next, right. So what can you say about signpost? Can you give me an example using signpost? For examples, signposts are on the side of roads. They are not in the middle of the road. They are on the side or over the roads. Okay. Eduardo, can you give me an example with signpost? As the concept is information or instructions in roads, freeways, or streets.
A concept.
Signpost. before going to Quito, I look the signpost on the road.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I check.
I check.
Very good. You got the idea. Okay, if signpost gives you instruction of information, if you go to Quito and not before, when
Yeah,
going to
turn
Quito.
on the light, turn on
Uh-huh.
the right to Quito, to
So
turn on
when
the
going
left,
to Quito,
to Manaví, to yes.
yes. And it gives you the information on the instructions about how to get to Quito, if you are not sure which way is to Quito. So when going to Quito, I check the signpost on the road to arrive to Quito safely. Eduardo, can you give me an example with the signpost?
Mm. Yes. Okay, the signpost of stop in the Cuenca and the Chile Cuenca Street is born.
Was
Was
burned.
born. Was
Okay.
born.
The signpost where?
Chile y Cuenca, two famous streets in Guayaquil.
You can use both. The signpost on the Chilean Cuenca Crossroad was burned.
Crossroad.
Because, yes,
Oh.
because supposedly, this is Chile Street, and the one across should be
Chile,
Cuenca.
Cuenca.
So it is Chile down
Yes.
and Cuenca here. So if the signpost is here, okay, it is the crossroad. Okay. Let's see, Carlos, give me an example with signpost.
When I drive, I can see the signpost in the la perimetral because it's very dark.
When I drive, I can see the signpost at the perimetral. Okay, good. When I drive, I can see the signposts at the perimetral. So you can see a distance, places to go, where to cross, where to turn. Nice. Maria, can you give me an example?
Oh, I always read the signpost when I travel to another city.
When we travel. Okay, we always read the signposts when we travel.
Read or checks?
No,
not
you
always
can, when
have,
you check, you verify if you are in the right
Okay.
way. But
not
when
always
you
have
read,
letter.
because most of them have letters and numbers, okay? But in this case, we always read the signpost when we travel on road, for example, or when we take this is a very American word too, a road trip. When you travel in your car. Okay, this is a very, very American concept that you can see on movies and series. Okay, when you travel in your car, you take a road trip. We always read the signposts when we take a road trip. In the case of check, Guido, you don't know how to get to a place, okay? For example, I have never been to Baños, and I decide to take my car and go to Baños. On the way, I have to check the roads, the signposts. Why? Because I need to know, oh yes, this is the way, this is the way, this is the way, this is the way, okay? But if I know the way, if I know how to get to Baños, I just read them. Ah, look, 40 kilometers to Baños. Okay, so I get the information, but not the instructions. And when you check, you get the instructions and not the information. And
Okay.
in Spanish, si yo voy de Quito a Guayaquil y yo no sé cuál es la vía, yo no sé cuál es la carretera, yo no sé cómo llegar, I check the signposts. Pero si yo he ido a Guayaquil y venido de Guayaquil 40 veces, ya la vez 41, yo no verifico si voy en la vía correcta porque lo sé. Sino que veo el signpost, lo leo. Ah, sí, Guayaquil. Ajá, ok, chévere. I know, yo sé que voy por Guayaquil. Yo sé que esta es la carretera para Guayaquil. Okay, that's the difference between checking and reading. When you check, it's an information you don't know. Okay?
It's better use
Tomorrow-
GPS.
Yes, it's better to use the GPS. The GPS speaks to you. Guayaquil, 20 kilómetros. Por favor, gire a la derecha en la tercera salida. Guayaquil, 18 kilómetros. Recuerde que va a salir en la tercera salida. I hate that voice. I don't like the voice. I don't like the voice. It's like they're telling you, hey, stupid. Hey, stupid human. Stupid human being. Listen to me. I got the information. You don't know. I don't like that voice. So tomorrow we're going to have a little more practice with using the compound words to be sure that you know how to use them. Okay, and we'll go to the preposition of movement. Because in, on, at, behind, between, beside, in front of, across, through, across are preposition of location. The thing is static on a place, in a place, across a place, in front, opposite to a place. But there are prepositions that indicate that the subject or the person or the object or the animal is moving. So tomorrow we're going to learn the difference between jump, the bunny jump in the box and the body jump into the box. Okay, so tomorrow we're going to learn about preposition of movement, okay? So thank you for coming. Maria, I need you to stay for a minute, okay? And see you tomorrow. Bye, Guido. Bye, Eduardo. Bye, Carlos.
See you. Bye bye, boys.
Bye,
Bye
Miss.
bye, Maria. Bye bye, Miss.